Hello, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? I'm just going to give it a few minutes here. Happy Thanksgiving week. Here in the US at least. I know Canada had theirs already. I'm not sure about everyone else. Hello. I'm just going to give it a minute and see if people have time to jump on. I wanted to do an Ascension update today. Oh, this is funny. This is what I was going to talk about. I wanted to do an Ascension update today just to check in with everyone, see how everyone is doing with the energy. Hi, how's everyone doing? How's everyone's week been? Mine has been pretty crazy. Sorry I haven't been on as much as I want to be, but it's been just very, very busy. Like I don't even have 2 minutes. Hello. So my weekly, while we're waiting, my weekly energy blog is up. So if anyone wants to go to holisticlivingpractice.com and read under the learning library, that's this week's energy, which is funny because some of that is coming up in what I'm polling right now. So if anyone wants to go look at the energy for the week, it's the collective read. If anyone's new here, it's the collective read for humanity everywhere in the globe for the whole week. I do it every Monday. So if you want to check that out, but how's everyone else been doing? How are you guys feeling? So much happening with the upper chakras. Lots of ascension symptoms. I'm feeling them myself in all my upper chakras. That happens a lot when you are raising your frequency. And so when you make big strides or big leaps, sometimes you feel like, it feels like cold symptoms or you get all stuffy, but then it'll just disappear. It's very weird. So if any of you are experiencing that, that's normal. I'll just start out. I wanted to pull some cards just for the group here to see what we need to focus on right now. So, which is funny because actually some of this is what I was going to talk about. But first I want to say that a lot is ending right now. A lot is ending for new things to begin. So I want people to understand that karmic cycles are closing. And we're in a whole, the earth in general is in a whole new space now. So a lot of people who are still sleeping or who are residing in a very low frequency are feeling off. They don't know what they're feeling. They're feeling completely, they can feel it, but they don't know what it is. So they're projecting. This is still happening from last week, but they're projecting, they're angry, they're confused. So they're thinking they're making things up that it's really not. So if you're surrounded by people like this, remember how last time in the longer live, I talked about holding space. Make sure you're doing those exercises, the white light exercise and holding space, not only for you, but for them, because they need it and they don't know what's happening right now. So for a lot of these people, Earth is now above the frequency they're at. So they're showing me like for the super low vibers, it's like they're being shaken and everything that doesn't align is trying to come up and come out. So a lot of these people, either it's their time and they're just going to exit now, or they're going to have one of those harsh awakenings where it's going to be the flip of the switch and they're going to, kind of be disoriented after. So we see that starting, that's already happening, but it's going to happen even more so as the next couple weeks go on. But I feel that last month and this month, there have been major, major energy shifts. We saw this month as being a month of legalities if you go back to the tarot read for November, and we're certainly seeing that with some of the public cases. There's another particular case you need to pay attention to, but you're not going to find it on the mainstream media. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to follow Telegram. Go to the Telegram page, and our page is in the highlights, and that's the trial you want to be paying attention to. So if this is just going completely over your head and you're not sure what I mean, go on there and I'll post I post different things on there that I feel people need to pay attention to for either something that has happened, something that's happening, something that's coming. Because what's happening now in the truther community with a lot of these different groups of people is they're trying to help by trying to make people aware, but what's actually happening now is they're pushing more fear. They're pushing more fear because, yes. So they're pushing more fear because they're confused. And so a lot of the people who are trying to wake people up to what was going on in the world, yes, that was so needed. We're grateful for those people that were really digging stuff up and giving you tangible, things to look at. But what's happening now is those very same people, as grateful as we are for them and, their intent and what they continue to do, they're not now, they've halted their frequency. So a lot of people are still following them, but they're feeling, if you're working on your spiritual self and working on your ascension and you're following some of these people, you can just take bits and pieces of what they give out and take it as it resonates. And whatever doesn't resonate, just disconnect from it. Because a lot of them, they're pushing fear, and it's actually, some of the information they're throwing out there is not actually accurate. So really just follow your gut on that. What does your gut tell you? Does your gut tell you that these types are, what they're giving you, the information that they're presenting is right? Or do you think it's just a little extreme? So if anyone has any questions about something in particular, I can give you a read of what I see on it, with what my guides, give me or show me. But I do just want people to keep that in mind when you're following different groups of people. Follow your own intuition. Discern what seems accurate and what seems a little like it's, I don't want to say misinformation, disinformation, however you want to say it. So I just wanted to make that a point. Because what is going on is a lot of people are focusing a lot on things that have already happened in the past. And yes, absolutely, we need to know certain things. Humanity needs to wake up to how everything has been manipulated. So yes, they absolutely need to wake up to, I don't want to use certain words, but the corruption of all the systems, right? All of the systems. So I feel that people, it's good that these people have brought this up, and people do need to be aware of it. They need to be aware, like I said last time, of what's been going on under our feet, miles down under our feet. That you need to be aware of that. That's what's going to unite people. When it comes to religion, how corrupt that has been. All these different organizations and 3-letter agencies all over the world, how corrupt all that has been. So all of that needs to be brought up. So that's why we're grateful for these people that are giving this kind of information and digging stuff up on those details. Because I can give you from a higher perspective, from how I read on it. I can show you, tell you what I'm shown. I can tell you, because sometimes they'll drop things where I'll just know, where I'll say, can you show me, or, what does this look like? And they'll show it as if I'm watching a movie. Or I'll drop in as if I'm a particular person, and I'll get to feel everything they feel and see everything out of their eyes. So it just depends on the situation. So because I'm able to do that, which everyone can do that, you just have to work at it. But because I'm able to do that now, I look at things from that perspective too. So some people are not connecting the two. They're not bridging all the stuff that's happened with spiritual stuff. They're not connecting it, or they're saying it's good versus evil, light versus dark, but they're not actually bridging that for you. They're not connecting the two, either for themselves or for their audiences. So that's what I'm trying to do, because I'm on this side of it, and not so much the physical side, outside of being just like everyone else, a human, but I'm more on this side of it. So I'm trying to walk people across that bridge from the physical to the spiritual, so that you can integrate it into your personal life, and then you can start to do all that yourself, and also help others. So especially if you're a light worker, that's your job. So I'm just here to guide and show the way and light the way for you. And then it's up to you to move forward with that and then help other people. So I feel that all the stuff that has been happening in the past is super important to know. But once you know, and once you're aware, and once people are aware, stop. That's it. That's all you need to know. You don't need to keep looking back, because what's happening is people are staying in that space. They're staying in that space, which is just lowering your vibration, because you're focusing on the lower vibrational energies. You're focusing on their plan. You're focusing on, what they've created and the timeline that they wanted and where they, wanted stuff to go, and their negative intent. We need to be focusing on the future. So we need to be focusing on New Earth, where things are going. How do we get there? What is it going to look like? Where do we go from here? How do you find your place in the new world? So that's what we need to be focused on. So that was one of the things I wanted to bring up, was visualization. Keep doing that. If you're not doing it, make it a point every day. So whether it's easier for you in the morning or at night or throughout the day, if you have, if you're driving a lot or something, take a few minutes to really picture what the world looks like, how the world should look like. Everyone is in harmony. Everyone is relaxed. Everyone is more peaceful. No one has that, that stressful hustle. There is none of that in the new world. Everything is a little more slowed down because time is different. So, and the energy is different. And with the higher frequency, everything shifts then in the physical. So some of you, or some people, may be unaware or unsure what that even looks like. But I think if you're unsure what it looks like, then you need to take a few minutes and do that with the feeling behind it. So what do you feel? Can you wake up and be relaxed and ease into your morning and not have to worry about, every penny, or, what's going on at a job that you can't stand, or what's going on in the schools now? If you can wake up and picture and feel how every area of your life should be, that's what's going to create a bigger shift. So that's what they're trying to keep you from doing. So God bless everyone in the Truther movement and everyone trying to help. They're so appreciated. And we're grateful. But let's just shift it a little bit, or take it a little further maybe from what the information they're saying, and let's go a little further to the future. And like I said, visualization and picturing all that. So when I asked what people needed to know or what I should talk about, after I already wrote notes of what I wanted to talk about, they said, see the solution. So we need to picture it. We need to follow our gut. So instantly know whether something is resonating or not. You can feel it. Don't think, feel it. So if you're hearing information and you feel it, does it feel right? Does it feel accurate? Even if it sounds crazy, or it sounds out there, or other people don't get it, what does it feel like to you? What's your instant reaction? And I think I've said this before, I may have in the last couple of videos, or I know I mentioned it a while before, but do the technique where you close your eyes and you ask a question and your body sways front or back. So if you close your eyes and ask something and you're in a quiet state and you just ask a question, if your body wants to just lean forward and that's not you leaning, it's just the energy, then that's a yes, and back, then it's a no. So that's an instant feedback you can do too. And then pray is just asking your angels. So if you read my blog for the week, all the upper chakras are really opening up for everyone. So this is your crown chakra, which is the violet, and that is really for getting more in touch with your intuition. So that's what I'm also trying to help everyone do, is get in touch with your own intuition. So everyone's intuitive. Everyone has psychic abilities. Everyone can do this. It's just you have to align yourself and then work your way up. So that's what everyone, I think, is doing and trying to do, but keep at it. So don't let fear bring you down, because fear is the ultimate, it's just of the lowest vibration. It's how the dark side of things has been manipulating people for so long. It's how people, humans who have been kind of taken over or allowed that energy in their field, and maybe they're in a place of power, that's how they've manipulated. if you've ever been in a situation with a person like that who's got that kind of energy, you know what I'm talking about. So try not to let that manipulate your field. So you have to, you're the boss, you're in charge. So you have to really discern and be able to tell when your energy is shifted. Does it shift around a certain person? Does it shift around a thought process? Is it around a certain environment? Is it your job? Is it part of your family? Is it a relationship? Is it just your own thought process? Maybe it's just a lower vibrational process. You have to be able to discern and identify and recognize when your vibration drops and be able to quickly shift it to get it back where it needs to be. So that can be just thoughts, feelings, and this is part of what my coaching packages talk about, because people need the help, I think, of how to do it. And then once you get into it, and once you're aware and you're knowledgeable and you've done, have some more information, or you practice, then you can start to do it. And then it just becomes habit, and then you just do it naturally. Before I look to see if there's any questions, and if anyone has any questions, please ask. So I feel that a lot of the collective is going to have a hard time when they find out that a lot of things are not as they thought. A lot of people are taking some things personally within people, and you shouldn't. I know that's hard to understand sometimes, but what's happening now is it's like I said, everything's very individualized. It's every man for himself, so to speak. So it could be your mother, your father, your brother, your son. It doesn't matter who it is. Your friend, your boss, it doesn't matter. If they're, just because you've known them maybe your whole life, or known them for a while, or maybe they're just a close part of your life, if their vibration is very different than yours, you're going to be able, if you're at a higher vibration especially, you're going to be able to feel it. So if you're at a higher vibration, you really need to be able to discern whose energy is not in your field and act accordingly. So by that, I mean put up boundaries, create some space, don't let them shift your energy, because a lot of higher vibrational people, or people who are just, awake, and maybe not quite on their ascension journey quite yet, are being triggered very easily right now by the lower vibrational people. So don't let that happen. So whatever you can do. So it's important to recognize who is in that place so you can know what to do, because a lot of people, the energy of these people is pulling from your light. And so around certain people, you're irritable, you're drained, it's just like, it's a constant, like, I understand this. It's a constant feeling. It's because the vibration is so different. So if you're watching this, then your vibration is higher. Now for some people, from their perspective, they're triggered by your light. So it's nothing, you cannot say a word. You could just walk in a room and they're automatically angry and lashing out. So it's really important to make sure you understand the difference. Make sure you understand who is who, so that you know what to do, and don't take it personally, because even if it is a parent or a child or a sibling, it doesn't matter. Every personal individual has a different plan. Everyone is on their own, journey and their own time. So just understand that it's their thing, it's their issue, and just hold space with the light. So if you didn't watch, I think it was 2 videos ago, go ahead and watch it. I think it's like 45 or 48 minutes long. I talk about the white light exercise, because people are going to need to know how to do that. And like I said, it's not just light. You're manipulating energy. It's energy work. And that is very, very powerful. And there's nothing more powerful than light energy. Then high vibrational source energy is the most powerful energy there is. So I'm trying to teach you how to use that to protect yourself and protect your children. And you can do the exercise around everyone. You can send people who are not of the highest vibration that light, because it'll just try to shake anything that doesn't resonate out of their field. So I hope that makes sense. Because this came in too. Hostilities came in after this. So a lot of people, which I just talked about that, a lot of people are being triggered, they're lashed out at. It's the lower vibrational people because they're feeling this and they don't know what it is. So they don't understand the light. They don't understand frequency. They don't even know that exists. So they are very, very triggered by, I have this all the time, very triggered by my frequency. So I could walk in a room and I feel people who are triggered by my energy, whether I know them or not. So you may be able to feel it too, or at least feel their energy, but you may just remember and try to remind yourself how to act in that moment for your own benefit. So if anyone has any questions about anything, do you still feel that food shortages won't be a big problem? So many people spreading fear about that. I know. I don't see everything being empty. I never saw that. I do think that there may be some things here and there. So there may be, you know, something over here that you can't find for a couple weeks. There may be something over here for a few days. There may be something over here for a couple days. So what we're going to have to do is maybe trade. If you have this, you know, I think I've talked about this before. If you have this, I have this, you need that, we have extra, let's switch for it, you know, things like that. It may only go on through the rest of the year, maybe the first, maybe through the winter, but I just don't see it being where everyone's going to just starve. I just don't see that. So now, is it a bad idea to get some extra pasta or tuna or, you know, things like that? I mean, sure. I mean, I have gotten a few extra things like that, or just some extra herb stuff that I know if it's going to take forever and I want to make sure I have enough. But it's not out of fear. It's more just because you want to make sure it's just like planning. So out of fear would be hoarding. So you're getting everything, you know, you can get everywhere, you know, you're overdoing it. That's out of fear. So being mindful and fearful are very different. So if anyone has any other questions, but, what's really going to start waking people up is to do with our young people. The word triggers something, but to do with the young people right now. So 0 to 12, I want to say primarily. That is when people find, first of all, when it comes to this, that'll wake people up with that age group. You know, because they'll be so angry. Now, there's people, if you already know what's going on in the schools and you have already either taken your kids out or switched stuff around so that they're protected from that, or you're just being extra cautious, then you definitely are already aware of stuff going on with that. But when people find out too what's been going on underneath our feet, way under miles down, when it comes to kids, that's going to wake people up. The elite and how they've transported them, I can say, if will wake people up. So if you don't know what I mean, you really have to do some research. DuckDuckGo things, don't Google. Get on Telegram, follow my Telegram. I'll put things out there that I feel are important, that I know people need to know. So if I put a specific report out of somebody else's podcast, if you get a chance, please listen to it, because it means that they're talking about the way I see it, just coming from maybe a different perspective. But there are people that in each area, politics, medicine, you know, all that are this, you know, education, even spiritual, that will say things that I completely see. It's just they're saying it from their perspective. Do you see that child stuff you're talking about coming out soon? It's going to come out. I think sooner rather than later. Yes. I feel they're saying a big yes. So everyone is going to know everything about that. And I don't mean down to the gruesome details, because that would really mentally disconnect some people from, you know, they would have a really hard time. So I don't think that that's of benefit, because then some people will just stay, like I said, in that dark place. But you'll know enough, and the collective will know enough to be able to shake out of it and be aware. And then once you know that, Then you see it, the educational system, and you see the healthcare system, and you see all of that for what it really is. You know, the Hollywood, all that. It has, so whenever I get like an indigestion when I'm talking, it means that something needs a clearing or is being cleared out. So I feel the energy from all that. Mother Earth is lifting up and out. So she has had enough, and she's shaking, like how I said it's happening with people. She's also shaking, like, if you will, everything out of here that doesn't align. That's why we're seeing quick shifts. That's why we're going to start seeing more exits. I know there's been some, but there's going to be more. And it's more than that too. It's realigning things. So she does not want or cannot handle now anyone being here who is not of a certain frequency. So I mean real high up, I just mean not of the low frequency. So one step above that. So almost like if you're not neutral to it, you're already not, you're not resonating here, which means you're going to either have to wake up and ascend, or you got to ship out. It's one or the other. There is no in between. And there is a lot of, there is a lot of off-world help right now. There's a lot going on outside of this Earth space, right outside of it, by different star systems and their beings helping. There's a lot of higher vibrational things going on, and a lot of like a big wide perspective that people don't see. It would go over a lot of people's heads. A lot of people would choose, because if they're not awake enough, they would choose, to not believe it. There's a lot of that going on right now, but it's true. It doesn't make it any less true. So there's at least 4 different systems helping us right now, at least 4. And there's a lot of new technology that's going to be introduced. There's a lot of technology they're using to counteract some other technology. So, how do I word? So these outside Earth beings have technology far superior than we do. We also, though, have technology that they don't want people to know. So they want to act like our technology is here, and we only have gotten this far. It's so not true. It's, it's here. Well, their technology is up here. So, that's been used for good and bad though. But as of right now, it's more being used for the good. I feel a lot of things have shifted or switched, or they're still working on switching certain things. So there's just a lot going on in all different areas, and people, it would blow your mind. I mean, your heads would want to explode if you were to try to understand or try to take in all this at once if you were unaware of it. So if you're aware to something, aware of this stuff over here and learning over here, you're slowly, so it's easier to digest. If you're completely asleep and you were to sit down and I would try to explain to you everything that I see, you would feel like you wouldn't even feel like you were in your body. I mean, they can't accept it. They can't even hear what you're saying. So I think in order to prevent that from happening, what's been happening is you're seeing stuff over here, and then you're seeing stuff over here, and then you're seeing stuff over here. Because if everything were to be thrown at you from all different directions, it would be a little chaotic. So I feel that there is still going to be something that's going to come out way out of the corner, way out of left field, to shake people out of things. So this is a part of it, but there's something that people don't know. There's something that even truthers don't see. But they're showing me the tarot card for being hidden. So it's still to be used. It's kind of at a distance, so it's like they're waiting for something. I feel that a lot of shifting with like the royal family and the Vatican, a lot of that stuff is being shifted. So there's a lot of big things moving around. We all know the 45-46 thing. So that will, we all know how he never went anywhere to begin with. And we know that the other one is not really legitimate. There are things around there too, but that's almost the least of it, oddly. So I know that sounds funny, but it had that particular situation, the US 45-46 scenario, had to go that way for a lot of reasons. Not only did it wake people up, but I feel that it had to go that way. Otherwise, there would have been mass destruction. I saw this for multiple things. That's what the bad side, the dark side would go to, would be the threat of mass destruction. And the good side never wants that for innocent people, for the collective, for humanity. So they do everything they can to avoid that, avoid the harm. So some things I feel like may have taken longer because of that, but it's because they have to constantly be rerouted to avoid that. So maybe it seemed like we were going this way and then we had to stop and maybe go this way and then wind all the way over here. But it's just a part of it. This is definitely a WAR right now. So if anyone who doesn't know that or see that is definitely behind the game here. So good. Sooner people know, sooner change comes. Yes. So change is here regardless. So this is why I say everyone who's awake, everyone who is ascending, anyone who's watching this, you're ahead of it. So you really then need to keep the visualization techniques. Keep focusing on how you want things to look. Keep focusing on how you want things to feel, how you want to feel, the relief, the peace, the joy. Call in on those guides and angels. Make sure that you're doing this all the time because you're so much stronger than you realize. And the angels always want to remind me to remind everyone to call upon them because some people get too much in their head. They're too with the overthinking and wondering how this is going to happen, or I wonder what's it going to look like. Don't worry about how things are going to get, disclosed. Don't worry about how certain information is getting out there. It doesn't really matter. What matters is where we go next, where we're going now. So you have to keep that thought process and keep your head ahead of it. So because you're ahead of the game, you have to be one step ahead of what's going on. So don't worry about a lot of what's going on is still for the sleepers. So we're ahead of that. So we need to be focused over here and not over here. So keep reminding yourself of that going forward. A lot of people, even I don't tap into a lot of the stuff going on. It's an instant knowing of whether it's truthful or not, or what it's used for. But I don't really sit and tap in and do a read on anything unless I feel like there's been a big shift, then I'll relook at something. Because we can't keep focusing over here. We have to focus this way. The strength is this way, and we're the light, we're the strength, so we have to get moving in this direction. So really keep focusing on that. And I'll post this so people can watch it and share it, do whatever you have to do, send it to whoever, because a lot of people still are asleep to the religion. They're asleep to this. They're asleep to everything that I do for a living. They're completely asleep to, or they don't believe in it, or they don't think it's real, or they're unsure. It's all because they're still so manipulated and indoctrinated that they can't get out of it. So they're going to have their own awakening moment, their own harsh, wake up call. So that's just the way it is at this point. If you're not awake now, you're going to have that harsh awakening. So there's nothing we can do to stop that, to help that. We just hold space and we focus on us and we focus on going forward. We need light workers and awakened souls to picture new earth, because that's the reality we create then. If everyone is constantly over here, and if everyone is constantly focusing on the negative over here, then you're just throwing more energy into that, and we don't want that. So let people who are asleep or afraid, they can be wherever they're going to be. We need to be over here, okay? So we really need to be over here. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't get derailed. Some people have been derailed, or a situation or something is trying to drag them down. It's all a test almost. It's like a universal test, but it's also a power test. So if someone is so easily able to drag your vibration down, then you're not really at a high vibration then, are you? So it's a test. So I constantly would have tests of, did you learn this power lesson? Did you learn this? All right, then bump up to here. Now, did you learn this? Did you learn this? So it's going to be the same thing. I really hope the young kids getting poked are protected and not hurt. So I feel that some of them, their vibration is high enough where they will be able to transmute it. It's not in their plan, I don't think, but some of them, it is in their plan, to be a part, to do that part for the awakening. So if there are children who are getting that and their parents are like first in line to take them, it's a contract between the parents and the kids agree to it. Whether or not they get past it or not is completely up to their lesson. But any kids below 10 right now who are here for New Earth. So if they are younger and exiting, it's because they just agreed to pop in for that one particular person. Maybe they agreed on a soul level for a soul family member, maybe up in, up in spirit. Okay, yes, I'll agree to do this for you, but then I got to get back over here. So if you're going to see exits for the young people, you got to keep that in mind, because anything other than that, it's just too hard for people to understand, to get through it. And that's the only way I can describe it. So for me, I'm just like a big mother hen. Like, I just want to take all of the children and just scoop them all up and protect them, But they remind me that I have to, my emotions are being shelved. So they show me like my emotions are being placed above everything. So I'm able to do this, because if I were over emotional, or if I let every situation, really get to me the way that I feel it could, because it's a child, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So it's really important for some people to just keep reminding yourself of that. Okay. Do you think the movie The Sound of Freedom will be released soon, and that will wake people up to what's been going on with kids? I do think that something like that people need to see. I think it's a good way of putting something together. I think that the production systems within the movie industry are going to change. So the dark ones who have been, responsible for that, manipulating that, running that, however you want to word it, won't be there. So it may be after that shift. But people are going to, they're going to find out one way or the other. The only thing with that is some people will just chalk it up to, oh, it's just a movie. It could be someone's perspective, even if it's a documentary, even if it's real footage. It's got to come from a separate place. It has to come from a separate person, other than the ones that we've known, around now. It has to come from a separate source, an outside situation, in order for some people to get it. So that's how that's how I keep seeing it. That's how they're showing it to me. When we picture New Earth each day, how long do you recommend we sit and do that for? Good question. So you can do that as long as you want, but even if it's just 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes of quiet, and maybe allow yourself to quiet. Do the white light exercise, clear your energy first. So within those first minute or two, and then do the visualization, and then do again with the white light, because it holds it. So not only do it for you and your world and your family or whatever, but do it for Earth. So whenever we're all doing the white light exercise, please also picture the Earth, because it's going to help all the collective. It's going to help all the children. It's going to help everyone all over the world. It takes this amount of us to be able to do it, to shift everything. That's how powerful like the light workers are, and the white light and the good side and all that. That's how powerful we are. So it takes this amount of those people compared to everyone in the world to be able to shift. That's why there's really not that many of us compared to the almost 8 billion in the world, because we're so strong. So I wish everyone knew that. I really wish you knew in your soul and gut how powerful light workers are, and just humanity in general. But light workers, and the strength you have, and the light you have, and what you signed up for, and own that. You got to tap into that now. If you're unsure, I do personal readings still. So please go to the website, Holistic Living Practice, and book a private reading if you're unsure of what your place is. or you just need to check in with yourself. But I really wish everyone could really understand and know the power behind it. So picture source light through your solar plexus. So yes, it's from the heart space, but it's from the place of power. So source light is like here. So picture that white light here just beaming out. So not only within you, but to everyone around you, and then out, 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 out to all the world. So if you keep picturing that, if everyone keeps picturing that, we're just going to keep moving up, up, up. Because like I said, it doesn't take that many of us to do that. We're way stronger than the lower vibers, so much stronger. That's why they can't stand to be in our field. So keep going. So you're welcome. So unless anyone has any other questions, I gotta go on to another platform now and do a live. So it was good to see everyone. I hope that this helps. Happy Thanksgiving week. And I will probably be on again. I may be doing a little special live on Wednesday, but I will let you know for sure. I do have readings Wednesday. So if anyone else, I do still have a couple openings, maybe 2 more openings Wednesday. So if you're looking for a reading this week, please go onto the website and book. And then I think I have 1 day open next week. And that's all I have until December. So I'm sending you all so much love. I hope that this helps. I'm going to post it. If it lets me post it here, and I'll post it to YouTube and Telegram too. So as always, I'm sending you all so much love and light, and I will be on again this week before Thanksgiving, okay? So keep doing all the exercises we talk about, clear your energy, tap into that strength because it's in there. See you guys soon.